It's high noon, and it's stream 42. That's awesome. Right, we're working on a web server in C++. And I'm working on finishing network connection stuff. And this is like the 6th stream, I think, where I've been trying to fix it up. And we'll hopefully finish it this time, right? So one announcement I'm really happy about is I think I finally got to the bottom of my computer crashes. So it turns out my BIOS was a couple versions old, and updating the BIOS caused the program to no longer crash when I did the absurd 10 million iterations inserting into a DQ, which always, without fail, would crash my computer. I could run that like dozens of times in the debugger and no crashes, so I'm really happy. So let's see. First thing up on today's list is to fix this particular function called break in the connection adapter. So that's right here, and I had a to-do thing. It's pretty obvious what's going on wrong here. Clean isn't being used. So this is the function that's going to be called by the web server when it wants to close a connection to a client. And the reason our unit tests are not catching that right now is there isn't one for a server broken gracefully. So we're going to start by adding that. Test-driven development. So we're writing the test first, and the test will fail, and we will fix the code to make the test pass. Alright, so the only difference I think in this test is we will tell this from the server end to break the connection cleanly. We're going to change our expectation about it being broken clean, gracefully, from false to true. And I think this becomes closing, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I'm going to look and see what I did for the client broken gracefully, if I did anything different here. Okay, I think all I did was from the other side close its end, so let's do that. I think I gotta clear something, don't I? Yeah. We're gonna have these diagnostics checks again. I'm a little tired today because I actually was up until 2 AM trying to fix that BIOS problem. It's really annoying me that last couple of streams I've gotten crashes in the middle. It's disruptive to viewing and also to the recording. I don't yet have a way to glue back together the pieces of my recording, so I have to publish them in parts. Yeah, sleepy time. Okay, so after we start closing, I think what we want to do is clear this again. And then close our end, so that's client.close false. Doesn't really matter what we pass there, actually. I think. I believe that's true. Wonder if I should make a test for that. Maybe. Let's just make this change first, then I'll think about that. So I think what we want to do is wait again. This part here. Only we'll expect false this time, because it's the final close. And then we should get a closed. I think there's also another. I'll just make a guess. I'll hazard a guess that we have another message called connection with blank closed by peer. So this is going to fail, of course. It should be network connect HTTP network transport test debug. Yep. Oh, I didn't make the name unique. Gracefully. Also, my window is not sized right, is it? Make that bigger. There we go. Okay. Right, so we're expecting to see closing. We get closed. It does a abrupt close, essentially. And you can also see that broken gracefully is false when we expect true. So I'm hoping that all I really need to do is pass along this clean flag. That would be sweet if that's all I had to do. Then I can move on quickly. Not quite. Oh, hi there, not Zane. Why would you close gracefully versus abruptly? It's sort of illustrated in one of my other tests, so let me show you that. Okay. In the network connections test, which is like the bane of my existence. This one with data queued. Let me expand all this. So let's say that you've connected to the server. The server, okay, that's irrelevant. So you connect to the server, and then you try to send 10 million bytes to the server. And then you're like, when you're done sending those 10 million bytes, you don't need to send any more, so you're going to close. Right? So if you didn't close gracefully, what would happen is whatever you had not yet been able to send, like what was still in the queue, would be lost. The server wouldn't get it. So the idea with the graceful close is you're saying you're closing your end. So you're basically sending a special marker. And in TCP, it's the fin flag or final flag. And it tells the server in this case that once that 10 million bytes is received and it gets that fin flag, that we're done. But if the server has a response to send back, it can go ahead and do that before it closes its end. I don't test that here, but I do test that the server is able to read all 10 million bytes before it actually gets notified that the connection was broken, and that it still has an opportunity right here. It's not completely broken. It still has the opportunity to send something back if it wants, but in this case, I'm just closing it. So yeah, the graceful close is so that you don't lose any data at the end of the connection, but that you can signal that you're done. So a web server might want to do that, like when it's sending the response back, and it's intending to release the socket right after the response is sent. It'll queue up the response with the send or whatever, and then do a graceful close, and then just kind of not worry about it anymore, because the underlying OS will take care of sending the rest of the data and then closing the socket when everything is sent. So I hope that makes sense. All right, the test was having difficulty reading this today. It says which is twice. I'm not sure why. Oh, I see. What we expect is connection closed by peer and then closed connection, and what we actually get back is just closed abruptly by peer. Okay, maybe that's because I had the client do a close. So what if I change that to a true? Okay, it's just that the messages are different. I guess it's no longer sending this, it's no longer doing this closed connection with for a graceful. I must have changed that. Let me verify. This I'm probably just printing out now when it's abrupt. Yeah, close immediately. So we're not closing immediately, so we're not going to get that. So yeah, was it gracefully? So actually that's a perfect opportunity to just duplicate this test. We'll call this one server broken gracefully, client closes gracefully. So it's like a nice exchange between server and client. And then the next one will be sort of half nice. Like the server said goodbye, carry on now, and the client says screw you, I'm going to close abruptly. So the only difference here is that the client will do an abrupt close, and we just get a slightly different diagnostic. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't quite have the formatting done correctly, did I? No, it's just not getting the message at all. Interesting. It's probably racing, right? If I run that again, is it perhaps going to pass? Okay, it's a combination of both. Actually, those two, what's different here? I misspelled something, I just don't see it. Closed, gracefully, they look actually the same to me. What's different here? Between these two or these two? I don't see any difference. Shoot. What is different there? What's different? Okay, I'm baffled. It looks exactly the same. Why are you doing this to me, computer? Expected equality of these values, yes. And they are not equal? How? Okay. What does my diff tool say? Sometimes my eyes betray me. So, we're going to call in Araxis merge to the rescue, right? So I'm going to take this string and paste it here. Take that string and put it there. Oh, they're exactly the same. Oh, C string. Let me look. That's just to construct the formatted string. Let's break this up. So we'll assume that this dot size is equal to the other one dot size. And then we will assert that this string equals that one. Vectors equals should do a member-wise comparison. So which is what I've been doing for everything else. So I'm not sure why this isn't working. Okay, I'm also dealing with this race where sometimes we're not getting the diagnostic message. Let me do a little bit of... Yeah, a little bit of a wait here just for now, to avoid this race. Chrono, milliseconds, 100. I need to think about why I'm getting that race. Oh. There are 2 messages? Okay. Wait a minute. I just changed that to... Did I not build that? What's going on here? It... Oh, there's a second message, and I'm not seeing it. So let me see that. There's a second message for some reason. So... Actually, this is what I want. Down here. Remove the sizes. Wonder why I wasn't seeing that second message. Okay, now it's giving me... Oh, you know what I think it is? It is, it's totally part of this race. So there is a second message getting in, but it's getting in between when this macro formatted the printing of this and when it actually did the comparison. So what we're actually getting if we wait long enough is a second message. The one that I actually expected to get before, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not printing it. It's this closed connection with, right? So we can actually make that our assert and then remove these. And I just need to fix the race. And we have the same problem in the other test too, I believe. This one. Yeah, it has the other message to the closed connection with. Okay, so let's fix this race here. We're only waiting until the client is told of the break. But I think what it is we're actually printing that after we tell the client that it's broken. Yeah, so the underlying, it goes to the underlying network connection. Which one? No one out. Okay, this window. Huh. This should wait until here, so we should have gotten this and then that call, which should have woken us up there. So we shouldn't have to wait, unless this is not waiting at all. But I did clear it first. What if I don't do that? Does it still... Does it... I'm expecting it should wait a second, but if it's not, that means that flag is not getting... It's getting set again in an unexpected way. No, see, it's... That's not it. Am I? Oh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong side. Who am I giving this broken delegate to? Oh, I'm giving it to the wrong end. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, this isn't waiting for the client side to break. This is waiting for the server side to break. So that will be where? In this processor. Okay, we should get one message. How come we're not getting both? I mean, gosh, my brain is scrambled today. It's without this, sometimes it's not even seeing this first message, but that message we do print first before we call this. Okay, this... Okay, right. Maybe I should debug this in the debugger. I can do that now without crashing. Yeah, so here, it didn't even get that first one. 743. Yeah. So let's put a breakpoint there. Make sure that the correct tests are running. Go into that. Actually, what it's going to end up coming back in this receive, I believe. I believe it, so it will be true, right? Right here. And where's the main thread should still be sleeping. Yes. Okay, we do have a subscriber. And then this, if we put a breakpoint there and then back in the test, it should go into this. Or is it? Hold on, I know that there's chat, but I'm concentrating. Go. Oh. It didn't call the right broken delegate. Maybe you need some music to calm the nerves. No, it's fine. I'm kind of used to trying to track down bugs. Let us clear all the I want my breakpoints to be over here, actually. Clear those. And here, and then restart. And then here. Let me step through this. I can do this without fear now. Oh, okay, they got there. Now what is it, null or something? It's null, look at that. That's a problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, so we have a delegate for the client end of the connection breaking, but we don't have one for the server end. Where does that get set up? Right here? Yeah, at here we're supposed to register one if we want it. Let me think about this. Yeah, so I really want two broken delegates. I want a client broken delegate, and I don't want a server one. Server one up here. Server broken delegate. We'll make that client broken. Client broken gracefully. Like that. Okay, it didn't like that. Why not? Oh, just was delayed. All right, and then I want a server broken and broken gracefully. Server broken gracefully. And what we do is we say, I guess it doesn't matter where we do it, connection set broken delegate. Server broken delegate. Like that. And then this is waiting for client broken. And then client broken gracefully. Okay. Oh, capture the right thing. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh, it's just delayed. My IntelliSense is very delayed. Okay. What didn't it like here? Oh, I didn't capture that. Or, yeah, I can pass it by value. I don't need to capture it by reference. Wow, IntelliSense is very slow. I don't need to clear that because we... Well, actually, do I? No, I don't need to clear it because it shouldn't have been broken until this point. So here, we will wait for a server broken. And then we'll expect server broken gracefully to be false. And it's just taking IntelliSense a while to catch up. Let's see if that fixed it. Okay. Didn't quite work. Oh, that's true, right? Oh, yeah, I did fix the crashing. So what it was, you can actually find it in my research because I actually made it a legit research topic. Oh, I'm done with it, right? Why is my computer crashing when I use the Microsoft debugger? So this is what I was up until 2 in the morning doing. So I found a suspect saying that something about a bug in the profiler, but I quickly moved on because I don't think that applied. So I got WinDebug from the Windows 10 SDK, so which you can download there. It was kind of weird. I downloaded it, installed it, and really just installed another bunch of installers. So I found the actual x64 debugging tools and ran it, and then WinDebug showed up in this place. I ran it, opened it with a memory.dump, which you get whenever you get a blue screen. Gave me this stuff, right? And then I read what you're supposed to do is, it tells you the bug check number, which is the hardware exception. So it says to run analyze-v, it did that, and it said it was an uncorrectable error. It gave me the address of the error record. Then what I found out after that is you type, well, I looked at the stack trace. It didn't really give me much info other than that we're in the HAL, which is the hardware abstraction layer. Actually, that it was sort of a hint to me, but the whole picture you really get if you run the error rec and then the address that you got in the last step, and it says it is a machine check exception, architectural error, and then I didn't really get much out of this information, but you can kind of see where this is leading. The combination of it being a machine check and then being in the hardware abstraction layer, I'm like, what abstracts the hardware? It's the BIOS, right? So I looked online, and sure enough, other people have been suggesting that if you get a machine check error, you should make sure your BIOS is updated. So I have this motherboard. It was this F3 version, and I see, of course, yeah, they made 2 updates since then. So I updated my BIOS, and then sure enough, that seemed to have fixed it. So I reran the code that would crash my computer reliably, and I can't get it to crash anymore. So I believe it was just my BIOS was old. My theory is that the CPU I'm using was 1 generation after the CPUs that this F3 version of the BIOS knew about. And so I was using a newer CPU than the BIOS was programmed with to support. So updating to the latest BIOS, it added support for my CPU. That's my wild-ass guess. But anyway, I'm happy because the problem has gone away. Cross my fingers. So, yeah. Of course, you know, Murphy's Law will say I'll crash horribly during this stream and I'll be back to stage 1. Okay. I'm getting an exception. Yeah, it was really pissing me off that my whole computer would crash because my stream goes down, my file system gets corrupted. So I had to go full on investigation mode. Okay. Print to what? So we're getting an exception printing something. Oh, right here. Oh, really? What, diagnostic messages? It can't be printed? Or is it these? I did move. Did I use that? No, that's right. What's it not like here? It's iterating a container. Okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. What's the read access violation? Okay, what is it reading that's... Oh, the iterator got corrupted. So does that mean that we have another thread doing bad stuff? Let's see. Threads. Processor threads are there sitting there quiescent waiting. I don't get it. Huh. I'm guessing that the vector changed while it was printing it. Oh, yeah. Duh. Oh, no. Not duh. Yeah, when does this... It might be because this message comes right after that... Right after that, broken delegate call. That might be it. Let's see. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, we call a broken delegate. When do we close, though? Oh, we don't close right away. Maybe I should do that. Actually, what does happen? Let me put a breakpoint in there. Stop. I want to make this just run the one test. G test filter equals server broken gracefully. Client closes gracefully. Kind of a long test name. Okay, so there's where it happens. What's the main thread doing? It's still waiting. So then after it sends it out, That's weird. It should have been closing. Am I in the wrong test? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm debugging the wrong thing. So, where was my breakpoint again? Remove that guy. Ring. I want to wait until down here. And when that one, now I care about when we hit this one here. So go. Step, step, step. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we've sent the shutdown, the peer is closed, so then it prints that. Then we go into that. And we get another broken delegate call. I got it, so we want it to happen twice. So we basically want to wait until server is broken and server, actually we can just say broken no, that's not what I want. It's gonna break twice in quick succession. It's like, how do I clear it and then set it again? I'm trying to avoid another race. Is it enough to just do this? Move that in there, and then clear it again. And then wait for it again. That should move up there, and that should move here. I'm just not sure if that completely avoids the race. And how will I know if it ever fails? See, this is one of the problems, is that you really don't know if there's a race or not until you see it fail. Let's see, if I think about it, there's a slight time between when we'll get the callback and then this thread wakes up and grabs the lock again. I guess we could get the callback a second time. Oh, I know what I'll do. I will make this a counter, because I'm devious. And we'll just increment it here. Actually, I'm going to be even more devious, so I'll make it a vector of booleans. Server breaks. That boolean will be whether it's graceful or not. So this will be breaks.pushback graceful. Then I can just wait for it to be 2. So return breaks dot size equals 2. And then expect the first one is graceful and the second one is not. All right. Cool, I like that better. So we basically wait one time until we get 2 callbacks. The first one says it was a graceful close and then final close. All right, I like that. So I want the other test below it to be pretty much the same with slight differences. So we'll just copy this good method body, overwrite the old one here. The only difference here is that this client is not going to close gracefully. So we will not get 1 break, or 2 breaks, but 1. We'll just get the final one. So it's a little over-designed now. I could I can make server broken just to flag again, but that's fine. And this will be abruptly. Huh, we're not getting a callback? Why not? Oh, maybe it's 2. So, hold on. Let's go there. Oh, let's make that expect. And go there. I need to turn off my filter. And then tell it to go. Oh yeah, I had an extra breakpoint in there. Okay, so what is server breaks? Oh, we are getting 2. False and false. Okay. We're getting an extra callback. Does that matter? I don't know. Maybe it matters? So how does this work in connections again? If we get an abrupt break. If we get an abrupt break. Sorry for this background noise. There's a bit of noise in the background. Obviously. Processor wrote something abruptly, right. Oh, hold on. It might be because the test I was kind of close the server side again? No, that's not it. We gracefully close the server end and then abruptly close the client end. Oh, I think I know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is. This, oh no, I don't know what it is. I keep going back and forth. Well, let me go to this point and inspect some variables. I'm going to look at server breaks here. Okay, we don't get any breaks. So let me put a breakpoint now inside this server broken delegate and see where it's called from. Okay, so the first time it's from the close immediately. Right from there. So where's the second time? Oh, I got a crash. Or not a crash, but a... this thing. Vector bool iterator not dereferenceable. Retry, please. Oh, that should be a 0, shouldn't it? Maybe that was the bug. That's 1. Okay, server breaks is only 1. Okay, there's the second one. A second abrupt? Oh no, that's... Wait a minute. Oh, okay, never mind. I think I need to focus on just this test. I'm getting myself confused because I'm running multiple tests. Broken... Gracefully client closes abruptly. That's the test we want to focus on. Starts with the client, closes abruptly. There's the first break. There's only one break. Okay, there is a second break. Why is that? How did it get back into there? I thought it would have broken out of that loop and returned. So I don't understand this. Let's try again. Where is that first break coming from? Yeah, so shouldn't it... Oh, there's a close and then a broken delegate. Okay, so I screwed this up. So the first broken delegate's called by close immediately. It's just that we had this extra one in there. That's redundant, so I can remove that. And I probably have one down here too. Yeah. Let me look for all the calls for broken delegate. That's a good one. That's redundant again. Yeah, so we just had we had redundant delegate calls. Let's make sure, let's see if that fixes everything. There we go. Back to normal. No. This has happened before where I fix one thing and break another. This is more likely to happen the longer I go, by the way. The more tests I have, the more strict the code is held to the design standard, so it's a good thing. Fortunately, this time I didn't break. I was hoping, I was sort of thinking I might have broken system instructions tests while working on the network transport tests because they're very interrelated, right? I'm actually changing code and network connection, but I didn't break it, so that's good. Now, did I leave any like hacks in here behind? Like those weights, this thread. I did. Why do I have this in there? Why do I have 100 millisecond sleep there? Oh, is it because we're trying to make sure one thing happens first? Okay, yeah, that was intentional. Okay, I think we're good. So let me check this code in, and we'll move on. It does a lot of churning through this node modules. I actually had an idea in Mugget to have an exclude list. I was given the gift of coffee. I don't normally drink coffee, but this is like homemade on a one of those fancy things. So okay, if we removed redundant delegate calls here, remove redundant broken delegate calls. Because, okay, it used to be that the close method did not call the broken delegate, but now it does, so I just didn't catch that before. The redundant calls shouldn't harm anything, it's just being perfectionistic here. One and only one callback. Okay, HTTP network transport. Finally fixed this thing. And made tests to prove it. So, handle server side close gracefully, abruptly, correctly perform server side graceful abrupt closes. Oh, it verses. There we go. If you guys hear music in the background, it's because my family can be very musical at times. So I did get a dynamic mic that's supposed to cut out a bunch of the background, but sometimes it can come back in. Alright, back to the plan. This, let me make this a little bit bigger. This is done. Yeah, now I want to do some testing to make sure the web server does the right thing. So let's do that. Let's set up the web server. Or maybe I'll do this one first, because I'm about to run the web server, and I would like to have a script that updates things automatically. Where's my VS Code? I forgot to open that. Come back, VS Code. And let's put it all on screen. Alright. So, new file. Let's call it stage. Let's call it just stage. So, I wanted to use the trick let's see if I can remember where I found this before. I'm going to open something off stream because I have some private scripts I want to copy a trick from. So just a moment. Yeah, this thing. So this is a trick to get the directory containing the script so that you can run the script from anywhere. So once we have the root, we can say copy root. Okay, root, yeah, ends in a slash, so we don't have to say it. So it's build web server debug. I need to go to the shell to see if that's right. Web server debug. Okay, it's not debug. That's the destination. It's static content plugin debug. Yeah. So this is the destination. Well, destination is at plugins, and the source is static content plugin debug, static content plugin.dll. And then we want the same thing but for the chat room plugin. And before we do this, we would say if not exist. Actually, let's make another set. Set stage equals plugins equals this. Like that. If not exist plugins, make dir plugins. And we should also make sure the runtime directory is set up. What is that set to? Plugin slash runtime, okay. So basically this slash runtime. Runtime. So if they don't exist, make them. Then copy the plugins to them. Okay, so let's try this out. Stage. There we go. So let's make another script. Since I'm all into these scripts right now, we'll call it serve. Okay, yes, so I think we just say root. This one. Build web server debug web server. C root config.json. So I say /serve. Serve. There we go. We're all good. So let's bring up the client. And I'm gonna want, hold on, we'll just point the client there. So it's working, right? So I want another window. I guess I can just use a normal console because I don't want to be tabbing between it. Put it up there and we will say, it's like netstat pn. Is that right? No, pn. I want to get the current sockets that are open. Hold on, let me do this off screen because I don't want to reveal my IP address. It's, let's see. I think it's p-pn for Linux, but I just don't remember what it is. Okay, I think I got it. So it's this nestat-a and grep 8080. So we have this, the server's listening, and we had well, both ends of 3 connections. Okay, and it just timed out. So what do we have now? We have we have a fin wait and close wait. So what I want to verify is that in each of these states, established or fin wait, close wait, can we control C the server? And does that clean up the sockets? It didn't. Is that because this is holding on to it? Let's see if I close that. Okay, we have some time waits. Time wait is, I guess it's okay for, this is the client end, correct? No, this is the server end. The problem is if I try to run it again. Oh no, it still works. So hold on, let me pull this off screen again. I want to do that without grepping and see what do those columns mean. Local address, foreign address, okay. So is it okay for these to be time wait if that's a local address and that's a foreign address? I think that's okay. That just means we can't. Yeah, I think that's okay because these combinations are the ones that are being timed. Time wait means it's being held in case there's extra traffic, but it's just specifically between these 2 ports. So we're not blocking the server from grabbing the port again. My understanding. And I think those time out after 60 seconds. So anyway, I want to do this again with closing the server while our connections are open. So now they're open and established. What happens if I close the server? Yeah, so we got the connections closed. And yeah, okay, we're good. Is when we close them, like so I bet I can make more by running this, reloading this, and then waiting for it to time out. We'll get 3 more connections with fin wait 2 and close wait, I think. I ought to reduce the timeout while I'm testing this down to like something less than a minute. Yeah, I'm already getting tired waiting, so let's close that and change those timeouts. Why do I have this off screen? Oh, wrong window. Right here. Change those timeouts to, let's say 3 seconds. Okay, so run the server. Connect. So they're established, now they're closed, or they're fin wait 2'd. That final wait 2, I looked that up, and maybe it's a good thing to look it up now again. It has to do with the TCP protocol, so it was a TCP State Diagram. I looked this up before. I didn't really find a diagram I liked. Maybe we'll look at this one. This one's not that bad. So our server side is stuck here, and then was it the client side is stuck in closed wait. I believe that's because on the server side, we are sending a close, sending a fin, and then we receive back an ACK from Chrome. But Chrome has not closed its end. So we're kind of stuck waiting in fin wait 2. Meanwhile, at Chrome's end, they've received a fin and sent an ACK, but they haven't closed their end. I don't know why Chrome is sitting here with those sockets open. But it's when we close Chrome, then of course Chrome's end goes away. They go from closed wait to being closed. And then the server end gets put into time wait for a while, which means we received a fin and sent an ACK. And I believe this is they don't show it here, but it's just a hard-coded wait. And I think that's in order so that you can't have another connection come in and take over. It's sort of holding it. No, that's not it. It's not that another connection can come in and take over. It's so that if there's any lag in the delivery of data, that you can still perhaps receive it. But I kind of want to look that up again and make sure. I want to make sure that that we're not going to have an issue on the server with a lot of connections being held in the time wait state. I think it's like 60 seconds or something, or it could be several minutes. I guess if you guys don't mind, I'll do a little bit of research. So what I want to see is timed wait. Is timed wait? Is it bad to have connections in time wait state? Server sockets in time wait state. Here we go. What is the cost of many time wait? That's what I want to know. Answers. Consume some memory in the kernel, usually less than a socket. Still significant. Sufficiently large number could exhaust kernel memory. You don't need to worry about having too many files open error. It ties up the source and destination. But that's fine because the destination is our customer, right? So if they tie up their end, that's fine. It's not usually an issue unless you need to reconnect with the same port pair, but most often one side will use an ephemeral port, which they are. Okay. So it doesn't affect establishment with other hosts. So if like one client of my web server opens like a ton of connections, they could get their side exhausted. So I think we're good. What I want to principally avoid are two things. I want to avoid the server running out of file handles, and I want to avoid the problem of, I've seen this before, where you close the server like this, and then you try to open the server again, and it says you can't get port 8080. It's being held up. I want to avoid that. I think we won't get that if those connections are just timed wait connections. Oh, one other thing. When I'm hitting Control C here, it's asking me to terminate batch job. I think I can get rid of that if I go into my script here and I change it from this to a call. I think. Let's see. No. Let's look this up. You guys don't mind if I do a little mini research, I hope. So, from a batch file, execute command. There's like two different ways to execute a command, right? When execute command, don't return. I used to know this. Okay, maybe this is it. Okay, maybe it's start. Let's try start. Oh, that did something completely different. It opened it up into another window. I don't really want that. I don't want start. I want the version that where it no longer returns. It doesn't run it into the context of a batch job. That's what I want. I guess I should just search for this string, terminate batch job. Batch file execute command. No terminate batch job. How to suppress terminate? That's exactly what I want. You can't. I can't. Disappointing. Yes, upvote. That is disappointing. Yes. Control C twice. Ooh. I like that. Huh. If you call a batch file from within itself, execution is permanently transferred. Okay. Would I have to call myself though? I don't like any of these solutions really. Okay, let's try this. I like this solution. So that would be start a command /k of that and then exit. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's maybe okay, but I kind of lose if I hit Control C here. Oh, that's weird. It kept the shell. That's another command window. Maybe that's okay. It's just that the font size is too small. Maybe I should just fix this for good. So that is where defaults, right? I want to change the default font size, make it bigger for you guys. 24 is probably good. So yeah, exit that. Oh, wait a minute, it did something else I didn't like. It closed my original shell. Okay, I don't like that. So I don't want to close my original shell. I wonder if that was that exit. I just removed that exit. So serve. Okay, I think that is what I want. So I'll have to put up with it being in another window. It's actually not that, maybe not that bad of a thing. I wonder why it's doing this thing. It's odd. Anyway, we don't get that batch, terminate batch job. The only cost is it's in another window. So something even better than that. I guess I could try to call myself with null. Oh, hey there, multiple pixels. How are you doing? How are you doing today? I am trying to figure out how, from a batch file in Windows, to run something so that when you hit Control C, it doesn't say terminate batch job. And they're talking about replacements. The batch, yeah, run the batch with start. Can you do start with... trusty and... Well, this is Windows, so it's different, right? Some of these people here are talking about calling another script and then inputting null. Let's give that a shot. Let's see what that does. So let's make a new script called serve inner.command, and we'll put the actual command in there. Like that. Actually, yeah, I want to see it, so we'll leave the @ sign off of it. So they're suggesting I do call well, really just run the other script, right? So serve inner with null and then do that. Let's see what that does. Serve, please. Really? Did I not save it? Oh, did I? No, it's serve inner. Oh, I need to have root in front. And then what? Control C. Okay, so it still prints it, but I don't have to say yes. So maybe I like this. So I like this well enough. So the cost is that we still see this terminate batch job, and we have to have 2 scripts. But there is a little trick here. They're talking about having an argument passed in. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't like the name they used though. So let's move that back in here. So they say, yeah, if, and this is the strange syntax, percent tilde 1 equals Pepe, because it's a Twitch thing, right? And then what's this shift do? Oh, I guess it's just do what I want. Else call null %0 with Pepe. And I don't need this. I can just do that, right? Oh, I guess I do need that. Well, that's fine. Let's try this. Control C. Okay, there. I like that better because I don't have to have this other batch file. Let's delete that. Deleted. All right. You have to have some kind of word there. That's fine. Oh, I think I see. They shift removes 1 argument, right? So if I had arguments, I could do that. Well, that was a lag. You're doing great. Okay. How bad is my lag? Let me test myself. Flip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Okay. So what are you coding? Doing coding yourself, huh? Do you know anything about batch files? How to get rid of this? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, what was I looking at? If I wanted to pass my own arguments, I would do a shift and then a %*. So I could pass my own arguments here. Oh, maybe not shift. What does shift do? Oh. So how do I get... Oh, I really have to do that? Shoot. I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. Forget this shift nonsense. I'll just go back to it doesn't take arguments. Okay, anyway. Well, let me check in those. Convenience scripts. I'll probably want Linux versions of those. Okay, add convenience scripts for staging and serving on Windows. I'm wondering if I should rename it to like be... Yeah, I think I'll rename them. Like, instead of serve, be wserve, and stage is wstage. because I want to make us a lserv stage for Linux. Okay, and then I don't need that to change. I think we're good with testing that we're doing the right thing when we quit the web server. So connections were gracefully closed. Oh no, we're not doing this, but maybe we don't need to. Let's go back and show what we were doing. Serve, right? wserv. So where is my Chrome? I closed it. Open it again. So localhost. So connections are open. If I hit Control-C, it just abruptly closes them. Is that okay? Or do I really want to do... I thought about doing this, but maybe it's just overcomplicated at this point. We verified they don't linger. At least not in a state that will be a problem. Let me move this to a to-do, because that's maybe an enhancement to the web server we can do later. Web server. Enhancement. Graceful closing of connections when server is taken down. Let me make that bigger for you guys. Alright. So the ideas behind that are here. That's weird. I expected a solid dot. Oh. Whoops. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Okay. We'll keep that for later. Alright, so I'm going to say that we're done with this stuff for now. This. How do we test that? I guess we just leave it running for a while and we just hit it with a lot of clients. So where was my command to watch that? Okay, it's not running at all. Let's run it. So it's listening. Let's move that over here. Refresh. Yeah, Chrome likes to open 3 connections for some reason. Let's close that and open it up again. That's not bad. We're not when Chrome closes, we get a complete graceful close of everything. Well, actually, it looks like it's broken. Looks like Chrome gives us a graceful close, but then less than a millisecond later, it just breaks. Oh no, this is the server saying the... Yeah, never mind. It's actually a graceful close on all the connections. I see some redundant messages though at the server side. Let me make a note to look into that later, to do HTTP look into redundant connection broken by peer diagnostic messages in the server. I don't think that that's a problem right now. It's just we're seeing this twice. I think because we get an indication first when it notifies us of a graceful close, and then finally later when the final close is done. Okay, I'm going to say that that's good. I need to do that for Linux. I want to do that now, I'd have to boot up my Linux box. I'll boot up my Linux box. So... close that guy. Nothing's changed, right? Everything's upstream. I gotta stall for about 10 seconds or 15 seconds for my Linux box to boot up. Okay, I'm going to start SigWinX. And SigWinX, I'm doing this off screen. I hope that's okay with you guys. I'm just describing while doing instead. SSX, I can show you this stuff. The font's kind of small. SSHY to myself at my Linux box's name. Type my password and eval SSH agent SSH add SSH ID, enter my key phrase, then XFCE4 terminal. Then I can minimize that guy. Then about 3, 4, 5 seconds later, waiting for it. Okay, there it is. Then I get my XFCE4 terminal. Projects, Excalibur, let's pull in the latest. I have unstashed changes? Oh, I was playing around with stuff. Okay, get reset hard, that stuff. Windows integrated Ubuntu thing. What it is SigWinX. So it's like this guy started out its life, if I make that bigger, as just a SigWin local shell, and then I did SSH-Y. What that does is open up an SSH connection, but the -y tunnels X Windows desktop, so to speak, so that my Windows machine is now an X terminal for my Linux box. So then when I run XFCE4 terminal, it actually starts up the GUI for XFCE4 terminal, which is like a Xterm kind of thing, but it's showing on my Windows box, which I like. So, and you can do like the classic stuff like XIs, and then I get, you know, you guys know about XIs? That's like my quick and dirty test to see if X Windows is working. Or I can do Visual Studio Code, and it gives me the window, which is coming from my Linux box, but looks a lot like Windows, because VS Code is cool. But yeah, it's all built into SigWin. It's called SigWinX. Not everyone likes SigWin's X Windows desktop. They have their own X Windows software that they like better, but I'm okay with X Windows for SigWin. It's not too bad. Okay, build. Let's make sure CMake is up and running. CMake build dot. Let's make sure everything builds. Oh, things don't build. So yeah, if you haven't, hold on a second. Sorry about that. Need to clear my throat. I have way too many windows open. Close some of these windows. Okay. And yeah, so if you haven't been able to, if you haven't noticed, I'm switching from Windows to Linux midstream. So I think, yeah, I need to update network connection POSIX because it's a little bit behind. Where is that? System abstractions. Yeah, so here's the Windows version. Here's the POSIX version. Kind of need to make them match each other. So it was like the broken delegates, right? Oh, wrong file. this one here. Broken delegates. They get arguments passed into them. Oh, this is a bit different, isn't it? We need to copy this stuff. Do I want to keep that all the diagnostic stuff? I don't know. Let's not. Yeah, this wait flag is not on the POSIX stuff, so we're good there. Okay, this stuff changed a tiny bit. We're no longer breaking. Oh, and this whole thing is inside of something else, right? This part here, if... Actually, we do have the wait thing in both. So I take that back what I said a moment ago. This is the read part. We only want to read if we haven't closed our end. I mean, if the peer hasn't closed their end. Okay, that wait though, I need to make sure that's correct. If it would block... If it would block, we need to set the wait to true. Otherwise, wait is false here. Okay. Okay, this is slightly different. Is that right? Okay. Oh, I guess I don't need that extra diagnostic thing. Drop it, and wait is false, else... Okay, this is slightly different. We just don't call the broken delegate. Shut down send. Close immediately, okay. The close is close, slightly different. Actually, it looks the same to me. Close immediately, I think, is, yeah, we no longer do this check. And this is what? False. Let's see if that worked. Okay, that got us further. I'm not using Ninja yet. I'm using GNU Make. I'm just thinking that this would be better, I think, if I was running Ninja because it could parallelize stuff. I mean, this by default, CMake will end up making a GNU Make file system. So that's what we're using now. So let's run the tests. We don't need the C debug. Let's run C test. Huh. I think we have a hung test. Oh, it just failed. Okay, let's run that directly. Not debug, just... No, test. HTTP. Yeah, there we go. Huh. Okay. A close abrupt becomes a close gracefully. That's not good. Let me... I'm suspecting the real problem is in the system abstractions. So let's run that. Yeah, so we got issues with the graceful versus abrupt. Close, all the close related stuff. Hey, let's see what's going on. I could make that bigger. That'd be easier to read. Whoops. Maybe not. Okay, what is it saying here? Connection closed gracefully. Closing. Closed. And we're only getting it closed gracefully. So we're not closing our end. Okay. Network connection tests. I'm never going to get out of this network connection stuff, am I? 1038. So we're getting the first message, but not the other two, it looks like. Is it just that we're not seeing the diagnostics? So that might just be I didn't print them. Okay, so it's supposed to be sent there. Okay, yeah, that. Oh, wait a minute. That's the, oh, that, never mind, that's the impulse. So, was it the outer one that calls close? Inner? Yeah, so it should have done a graceful close. It should have printed that. Oh, I know what it is. It's these diagnostic messages levels are different. Right? I upped them to 1. Yeah, see that? So I need to go through these and make sure that they're... The ones that were 0 are now a 1. Yeah, so that's a 1. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, so we got 1 to pass, but okay. Let's see what's going on here. 1134. And 134. So this is initiate close abruptly. So we're getting, it's doing a graceful close. Okay, so maybe the linger stuff, this is what I was thinking about yesterday. In Windows, we're setting it not to linger, but maybe in Linux it's lingering anyway. And we need to do the same kind of thing. Let's look that up. Don't care about batch file stuff anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Keep that around just in case. So, Linux, socket linger. Okay, so we have to do the same thing. So, oh, we can set a socket. Oh, we do set sock opt, so it's similar. Let's find where we do it here. So it's in two places if I remember correctly. This is the client end near bind. But what does it say for set sock opt? We need types in socket. Do we have types in socket? Yes. Okay. Go back. Okay, so it's struct linger, not linger. It has the same arguments though. So I think I still do the same thing, right? Okay, so Linux is smarter. Windows wanted a constant character, a pointer to constant characters. But Linux is nicer. I don't need to do this funky typecast. Let's see if that builds. Okay, so there was one other place I had to do this, right? It was in the server side. Network endpoint, I think it was. When we do an accept. And let me see where exactly I did that on the Windows side. Okay, so it was here. In this else. That has types and socket? Yeah, okay. Go back. I'm not as comfortable working in Linux as I am on Windows, so I'm going to be a little slower. Let's run our tests again. Down to 2 tests. Failing. Receive close abruptly. It's getting a graceful close. Oh, I think that's because I didn't put the linger code in the test as well. We had that linger code in here, right? Yeah, so we have to do the same thing, and I even had a to-do thing there. And the only difference is it's struct linger. And, oh, and then we don't need this typecast. Is that in 2 places? Let's see. No, only 1 place. Down to 1 test failing. Okay. Initiate, close gracefully, no data queued. Oh, I remember this. It's like the same bugs as I fixed in Windows. Only I need to do the similar thing in Linux. This bug was... I think it was in the close, right? For the graceful close, where was that? Oh, that's interesting. That doesn't look like at all like I thought it would. Oh, wrong class, that's why. We don't need endpoint anymore. Connection Win32. So that's... There was a special thing to kick it, right? This set event. So I need the similar thing in the POSIX side. So it's not set event in Linux, it's something else. I think it's this processor state change signal set. Right, so I needed to do that down here. That's it. Okay. Hey, look at that. Everything's passing. How about the HTTP network tests? Are they passing? Nope. Okay, this might be a similar thing with the linger. I think I might have had to do the same thing over there. In HTTP... No, not HTTP. Network transport. Test. Source. I think there was another linger thing here. No? Okay, I don't know what it is then. 613. Huh. So it's actually getting a graceful close and not an abrupt close? That's strange. Okay, I thought that that's something I fixed in the endpoint. Did I not do that? I thought I just did that. Network endpoint POSIX. I set the linger off, yeah. Is this not right? Oh, this is the wrong socket. Look at that. That's the wrong socket. Client. That's the wrong socket. There we go. And run the other one too. Cool. Whenever someone comes home, dogs gotta bark and welcome them. Alright, if these all pass, I'll be really happy. Yay, I'm really happy. Can't you tell? So it was like I expected, I just needed to catch this up to date. Network connection, well, it's really catch POSIX code up to speed with the Windows code. All right, so cool. So I guess we're down to the last thing in my original list. Update the web app client to match the server. See, this will be a little bit more fun. We'll go back to Windows to work on this. So, goodbye Linux. We had fun. See ya. I can show you the teardown that I do here. So you do, was it kill SSH agent PID, then exit. Oh, we need to exit Visual Studio Code too. Then when you hit enter, or yeah, exit, and exit. Clean shutdown. Let the server run in the background, but I'm not going to have it connected. So we'll go back to here and pull in the change. It's my daughter yelling in the background. We're a very loud vocal family, by the way. I don't have a study yet. Someday I'll have a private study area. I don't have to worry about the background noise. Okay, yeah, we pulled that in. Let me make a build to make sure nothing broke. I only changed the POSIX stuff, so nothing should have broken. Hold on a sec. Okay. Let's run the tests. So C test, C. So the reason I have to do the C debug, and I don't have to do that on Linux, is because on Windows and also on the Mac, the build systems are generating are multi-variant. In other words, you can either make a debug build or a release build. On Linux, with the default GNU make, you actually choose at the time you construct the build system whether or not you're doing debug or release. And the default is debug, I think. So to change, you actually have to make a whole new build directory. But the plus side is that you don't have to constantly pick debug or pick release when you're building or testing. Okay, let's work on the little web client. So to do that, we're going to just run our server. So serve. Oh, it's wserve, isn't it? Oh, and I should have made the Linux equivalent of that. Anyway, I'm going to make I guess with another shell off to the side here. I'll go to chatter and I'll do npm start. This is booting up node.js to serve our web client. And we do this in development because it allows you to make quick changes and immediately see the results in your web app. In production, what we do is we do, I think it's npm bundle or build or something, and it makes a static version of the app that you then upload to the server. What window did I want? Oh, I wanted Chrome and I closed Chrome. Let's open Chrome again. So localhost 3000 goes to our chatter app. My brilliant little React app that I've been working on. And as long as we pick the nickname Bob, this should still work, right? Yeah. Now, we used to be able to say, yeah, see, there's MathBot 2000 already running. We used to be able to say, like, any kind of text message, but now it's ignored unless we actually guess a number. Oh. Oh, I changed the format of the message, so it's ignoring the tell completely, I believe. We could see that in the web server, right? Oh no, we're not printing diagnostics from the chat. We should maybe do that to kind of see what's going on. But in the meantime, I can open up the developer tools here. And I have to hit F5, okay, fine. Reconnect as Bob. Connect. I can see the chat thing here with frames. I can see whenever I wait long enough, we'll see MathBot post an answer. But I can also, yes, we can see MathBot sending a tell. See, we're sending a tell, but we're being ignored. I'm wondering if maybe the format of my message is not right. Oh, I see what's the problem. I guess we can't use Bob. Bob is not a valid nickname? I thought it was. Oh, is it because we're sending a password? Okay, yeah, it's not letting us pick Bob. What about Alice? Maybe I took Bob off the list. We can't set nickname as Alice either. What's going on? Let's look back at my chat room, how I changed the chat room around, so let's see what I might have changed something there. Tests, chat room plugin, I guess we'll set that up right now to run if we need to. Let's collapse everything and look, how do we set our nickname? Join. How does Bob join the room? Okay, is it just that that's what I'm doing. I'm just setting a I'm just sending a password. Is that the problem? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I'll show you guys. So we have to actually put the nicknames into the configuration as nicknames, and I forgot to do that. Let me go do that. Yeah, see how I didn't even set the math quiz cooldowns or the tell timeout. Let's set this up. So we have doesn't really need to be in any order. Let's set the tell timeout first to 1 second, and the math quiz parameters there. So min cooldown 10. And max cooldown, let's set it to 30 or something like that. And here's where I set up the nicknames I allow. So what nicknames will we allow? How about Bob? We'll just set up the classic. I mentioned this in a previous stream, but these names, Alice, Bob, and Carol, I always remember them because I did a lot of work on the SIP protocol. If you look this up, and a lot of their examples, they mention Alice and Bob, And Carol. Alice, Bob, and Carol. ABC. So that's why I use Alice, Bob, and Carol. Okay. Do I want to... These are just for fun. I'll just stick with these for now. On the real server, I'll let you guys come up with nicknames, and I'll just... I'm limiting what nicknames you can pick from, so that people don't come in and pick dirty words and get me in trouble. That's essentially why. So now, I should simply restart my web server, and then reconnect, and I should be able to use this Bob again. Oh, let's refresh. Nickname, Bob. Connect. So there we go, Bob's connected. If I watch this chat here, now let's see if I can answer the question. That's 68. Oh, wrong window. 68. Oh, look there, I got a award. We're not actually printing a tell that I won though. MathBot 2000 should probably say, "Congratulations, Bob, you win a point." I mean, what if I send 68 again? I don't get a score, right? Yeah, so nothing. Oh, MathBot's asking another question. Quick, what's the answer? It's 37, right? Penalty. Did I get that wrong? 29 plus 8? What is the answer? I'm so dumb. Okay. What's 4 times 4 plus... Oh, it's 16. I am dumb. It was 45. Okay, MathBots asks, what's 4 times 8 plus 20? That's 32. Oh, I missed it. 16 plus 92. 108? Yay, I'm back up to 1 point. Alright, I actually think this will be kind of fun. So what I'm working towards is to get this thing up on the internet so that you guys can play around with it too. But we're going to need to fix this up a little bit. Right now, let me make this smaller. Right now we're answering, and MathBot 2000 is not telling us if we got it correct or if we got it wrong. Also, I kind of want to see our point totals up here. It'd be nice to kind of sort by point total so that the winner is on top, right? Yeah, so let's do this piece by piece. Let's first have a MathBot announce the winner. The leader, not the winner? Yeah. This will be the leaderboard, but over here I wanted to announce the winner of the current quiz. Everyone's a winner? There are no losers? Okay, so fortunately we're going to shut down the chat room for a second. We're going to do this in the tests for the chat room. I already have a test here, I think, for answered correctly, right? First answer scores. Oh, wait a minute. We don't need to tell, do we? Because we get a special award message. Yeah, so we don't need that. So this will all be in the chat room client. So I already thought about this. I just forgot what I decided to do. So connect back in there, Bob. You know what, I should also clear... I should have a button to clear this, shouldn't I? Oh, another thing I want to do is I want to be able to type in a number and hit enter. Right now you have to go and click on send. And, yeah. Very little latency in today's stream. That's good. It was like 5 seconds earlier. I don't know what it is now. Okay, so this is all in the web app. Let's go in the web app. I haven't touched this in a while, and I'm still a newbie in React apps, so feel free to laugh at my expense. I'll try to figure this out. Let's start on getting announcements of winners, and everyone's a winner, but the person who gets an extra point. So we will, right here I think, add a handler for award. const award equals we kind of want to make it look like a tell, don't we? Let's make it look like a tell. And it will be I guess I'll just copy this thing. Sender. Oh yeah, see, while I'm editing, it's trying to compile it, by the way. Let's make something different here. So let's say if there's no sender. Do I even need to do that? If there's no sender, then it's just like an announcement in the room. And the tell will be message dot, let's see, what does the message have in it? I don't see it anymore. We'll go back to the unit test to see what it looks like. Okay, it's subject. I think I have to put that in brackets? Forget how this works. Or maybe do this. No? I forget how to do this. Do I need to pull up the React? I think I do need to pull up React's tutorial. Yeah. I'm just looking about how do you put stuff in a string. I thought it was backtick notation. I'm not seeing it though. Maybe it would be better for me to just do a search. React reference variable in string, or expand variable expansion. No, that's not what I want. Is this it? Oh, it's $. I was close. There we go. See how the color changed? Bob. What do we want to say? Bob has won this round. Bob has won this round. Congratulations. How about say congratulations, Bob. We'll just have it say that for now, and then do we have the penalty version of this, right? Penalty. And what does that look like? So by the way, this is an example of how test-driven development kind of helps you document use cases. In order for me to see like what I should expect in the client side, I'm looking at the tests of the server, and I see, oh yeah, the test expects the penalty message to look like that. What should I say? Subject. That is not the correct answer. Or how about we'll just say sorry. Sorry, subject. That is not, that isn't the correct answer. That's the correct answer. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, it didn't like me saying const tell. Why not? Duplicate definition? I was worried about that. In C++, I usually do this to get rid of that. But I think JavaScript was warning me about it, saying that I didn't need to do this. But I think I do, because I want each of these blocks to like have their own local variables. Yeah, so I'll put them back. Was I getting some kind of JavaScript warning about that before? What's that? Oh, never mind. It's telling me that it's recording the network connection. Yeah, let's do this and then do this. All right, so Bob connects. Let's wait for MathBot 2000. Actually, the chat room will have been going for a while, so I can just guess and it should tell me that's, yeah, not the correct answer. Now I have -1 points, by the way. I have -1 points. Okay, MathBot, what's 7 times 5 plus 41? That's 35. That's 76. Yay! I got the answer right. And see, I can continue to... When the quiz is over, people can just chat numbers. As long as it's not more than the timeout. Okay, what's 8 times 6 plus 52? Blanking. 8? How come my brain refuses to do multiplication today? That's like, isn't that 56? 56? 8 times 6? 48. Plus 52. Oh, I'm too slow. Okay, 6 times 2 plus 56. 12 plus 56. 68. Yay! Okay, I need to change this a little bit. It's printing null colon. Let's have it put it in another different color. Yeah, let's have it put it in a different color and then not print the colon. So we will do this. We will say color. I don't know. Green. And then for penalty, let us make... Am I using double quotes or single quotes everywhere? I guess I'm kind of inconsistent. Anyway, let's make it in red for penalties. And... By the way, I should be able to connect with no... Yeah, see, I can connect without setting a nickname. MathBot 2000 will be asking us questions. I just can't chat, right? We can't chat because we're a lurker. Even if I type the correct answer. 59! It's like, well, you're a lurker. You can't answer. Anyway, back to this. I think it's where we construct our tells. Where do we do that? It was here, state tells, right? Yeah, render tell. Okay. So I think we want to say if, and here's where my JavaScript is very poor. I'm going to say if there's no sender. So if, is it what? If sender not in tell? Can you say that? Pardon me while I look it up. JavaScript. Check if object has a key. Oh, equals, I see. Oh, okay, so it's if it has a key. So if tell sender. Can I just do this? If it has a sender, I want to do that. Otherwise... Then we'll rely on it having a color, like this. Style equals, okay, how do I change this style? How do I attach extra style? Let's just keep it for there for now. Let's see if it's working. So let's connect and we'll wait. Actually, don't have to wait, just type something. It doesn't put the colon in front, but I want to set the color. Can we have multiple styles in there? Can I say this? How do I want to do this? Like this? Color. tell color. I think I need backticks for that. Okay, it doesn't like me saying that. I guess it's this. And then backticks. Okay, there. Let's see if that works. So, Bob. Connect. Try to guess something. Ooh. Not a string. So it's a prop. I don't want it to be a prop. Do I? Okay, let's look it up. I'll get better at this as I play with JavaScript and React more. Okay, so JavaScript set style of div. I probably want to make it just a CSS thing, don't I? Yeah, maybe it's like class, right? Let's see what this says. Ugh. How about if I qualify that and say React? Oh, here we go. I like this. 4 ways. What are the 4 ways? Yes, that's probably better. Inline styling. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Styled components. So maybe we'll do this. So it'll be color, it's like const, right? Const color equals color tell.color, right? And then we say color. Let's see what that says. Bob, connect. Try 42. Oh. I think the problem is we have 2 styles in there. So maybe we can't style it directly. Maybe what we need to do is do the CSS, so class name, right? Let's do that. That's probably the nicer way anyway. So it would be class name equals tell dot color, and then we just have to, when we set the colors up, we have to make it match. Bark, bark. We have to make it match the names of classes here. I still don't know whether or not it's the right thing to do to have everything .app. I'm guessing that's it only if it's in the app, which everything is right now, so maybe this is the correct thing to do for now. So how about app tell red? Actually, let's make it specific to what, winner, loser, award, penalty. So award color is green. Actually, I don't like that color exactly. How about lime? And we'll make that award, and we'll make this one penalty. Make that one red. Okay, so it's these names we want in here. Award here. Actually, is it? You don't put the dot, do you? Is it? It's just that without the dot, I think. Let's see if this is right. I'm just guessing. Let's see if that worked. So, Bob, connect. Guess something wrong. There we go. It's working. Let me look at, make sure it's working the way I expect. So if I am looking at that element, Class name app tell penalty. And what is the class? Okay, so yeah, there's no dot. I think dot is top level. I don't remember. Cool. So let's answer correctly. 28 plus 57. 85. Oh, look at that. I was cheated. I missed it. Actually, I can guess the correct answer, right? So 15, that's 70. Yay! That's maybe not the right color. That's too bright on a white background. What do I want to use? I guess go back to green. So one cool thing is that if you're just changing the CSS, it changes the app without having to reload. All right, so we got our awards and penalties. Now I kind of want to see the leaderboard. So we added a new way of getting all the information. I just don't remember what it was. Oh, it was get users. So instead of get nicknames, we called get users. So where do we call get nicknames? Get nickname. There we go. When we connect, right? So instead of get nicknames, we'll do get users. And what we expect back is a type users. Where is that? All right, so instead of nicknames, we'll just expect users. And then it'll be inner objects with points right now. So we need to we need to change this nicknames thing around, I think. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll change the nickname state to be users. Or what are we calling it? Are we calling... What's a better word for users? Viewers? Contestants? User. We'll just say users right now. These are the users currently in the chat room. Okay, so wherever we have nicknames, we got to do users. And we have to change things around here. So users is going to be... I didn't mean to mute you guys. I misclicked. Okay, so nicknames. Oh, it was an array. Yeah, so we're going to make an array. So that's... What is it? Just local? Users equals... Is that what you do? Oh, come, it doesn't like that. I don't get it. What is it? What's wrong with that? Unexpected. Oh, is local not the way to say it? How do you make it not a const? Is it var? Var, okay. See, I don't remember these little things about the language. And then I want to loop over all the nicknames. Or all the users. Oh, wait a minute. Can we just use the JSON as it is? I think I can. So I can just say users is message users. I think I can just do that, and then, but for here it's a little bit different. Right, it's by keys, so it's like this. And then the new user will be, well, we'll construct it here. So it's points, right? I wonder if we should change join so that it tells us what the initial points are for someone. For right now, we'll just make it map to the server. And we'll just assume that they start off with no points. And it's like this. It's like, is this how you do it? I don't remember. Obviously that's not right. Do you just do that? No. How do you make a key a value of another variable? Do I have to look this up? I feel so much like a noob. Okay, JavaScript object variable key. Yes, what is this? Show it to me. I need to know. All this... Okay. Oh, that's right. It's, brackets. Right? Yeah, look at that. And then we just add user here. Okay. I think this stays the same. And it's user. How does filter work with an object, though? Hold on. This isn't quite isn't quite right. I think maybe I can't use filter. Okay, JavaScript object filter. Is there an object filter? Okay, there is. No, it's array. I don't want the array filter. I want this. Never ever extend object prototype. Oh, so really I have to do for? Okay, fine. I don't like that though. I want to do this syntax, but with filtering one out. JavaScript. We'll say React object update state remove key. I remove clear is not quite right. Well, that looks interesting. That's almost exactly what I'm trying to do. So we're just always making a new object anyway. This is talking about how to do it with an array. I know there's a way to do it. What if I say... What's it called? Is it splice? I guess it's not splice. What's this dot 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 syntax? Let's see, what is it called? It's JavaScript triple dot. What I'm trying to do is, when a user leaves, I want to remove them from the object. It used to be an array, so I used to do filter, but now it's not an array, it's an object where each key is the nickname. Spread operator, okay, so how do I use the spread operator to remove one thing from an object? Someone's gonna borrow my hiking boots. As long as you don't lose it. Spread remove object. I want to remove an object using the spread syntax. Objects excluded. Filter keys. That's sort of what I want. So does that actually work? Golf blocks. Oh, so they say to do that and then just delete the key. Maybe I'll do that for now. I can actually see if it works. So it's like this, but with not message.nickname. Let's see if that looks like that was recommended. Does that even work? I guess not. Yeah, so I can't do that. So they're saying the closest thing is to do this. Okay, is it let and not var? Or did I have var? I had var somewhere here. Is let better than var? Looks like people are using let. So let users equals this part, and then I just delete users message.nickname. So that's maybe the closest I can get. Okay, so anywhere else nickname used? So it's users with an object and that is empty. Okay, here we are going to map the user, and it's the user dot how do you get the key? Oh, does map even work with an array? With an object? Shoot, it doesn't. No, you do keys, right? Dot keys. Dot map. Yeah, there we go. So nickname, and then we say, you can say nickname again. Actually, that'll work for now. Let's see what we get. Keys.map is not a function. Do I need to say keys? Call keys first? I need to do that. Keys returns an array. How come I can't do map? Oh, keys you can do on an array. So how do you iterate the keys of an object? JavaScript. Iterate object keys. Do I really have to say that? So I have to say object dot keys. I have to say it that way? I'd much rather say it the other way. I'll use that for now. Till I learn better. Since it's working, right? It's all about it working. So there we go. We have Bob, and let's make sure we got it correctly. Right, so we got it correctly. We populated it correctly. Now I want to kind of show the point total up here. So it's no longer just an LI, is it? We kind of want a grid, don't we? So that would be, I guess a crude thing would be a table. TR. TD. We want to keep the same thing. Why did you change it from an array to an object? Mostly because I wanted to have data for each user. So you're saying I could have made it an array where the nickname was one of the things in the object? I guess that was just my natural inclination is if I'm going to have each user have its own properties, then that user should be an object. Yeah, I could have made it an array of objects. You're saying instead of doing it that way, I could have done it this way, right? I could have made it an array of objects where we have nickname is Alice, right? So let me consider what are the differences here? Because that'll work too. I guess I would have to iterate through the array to find any particular user. Whereas this way, I can look the user up directly from the user collection. And these are kind of, you can convert between them if you need to, right? I don't know, do you have a... Can you convince me that this way is better than that way? Because I guess I'm on the fence. I'm actually leaning towards this because then if I want to, I can look up a user by their name. Whereas here I'd have to look for them in the array. But do I need... I guess the question that from my... I need to defend myself in saying, why would I... If someone asks, why would I want to look up a user by their nickname? I guess I don't need to, so this is just as good as that right now. Any operation on multiple users is easier using an array.
I can't find this.
Because I don't have to do the object keys thing. Filter, sorts. Okay, well, I think you've convinced me. Let's change it then. So, we're changing our unit test to do that. And how many times? I do this quite a lot, so I will have to copy this a few times. So it's 0 and 5. See how easy it is to change my mind? You have changed my mind about it. Okay, 0 and 6. This is really not that much of a change. And I think you have a good point. Okay. So, we will build that. In order to build it, I'm going to have to stop the server, though. And build it. And we're going to run our chat web server chat room debug chat room tests. So it's going to fail right away because we're not getting the data structure like we want anymore. So let's go change it. So it's going to be where we set up the users. Okay. So instead of it being an object, it's an array. And then we will, instead of doing set, we do an add. And then we add a JSON object where the first one is nickname. Actually, I don't think it's 10 minutes. This really won't be that long. There we go. Done. What was that? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? It didn't seem like 10. Okay, they're out of order. I guess I should have expected that. They're going to be in some weird order unless I sort, I guess. Actually, this should sort it. Okay, I just need to make sure that it's always sorted correctly here. Alice, Bob, no, it is sorted. What's going on? We're getting back Bob first and then Alice. Why is that? Shouldn't Alice be first and then Bob? Hey, maybe it was 10 minutes. Okay, I'm curious, so I'm going to put a breakpoint there. And run our tests. Bob, Alice. Oh, Bob is first. Oh, I know why. Because this user's, it's by arbitrary session ID, so it'll be the order in which they logged in. Yeah. So it's going to be the order. We're always having Bob log in first for some reason. So, it doesn't really matter. The order is not really that important, is it? Only have to sort the end result in the unit test? Well, I kind of want this to have to, well, I could sort it here in the test. Or I could specify here that we expect that order because of the way that order in which we joined. And then I can actually make a test which tests that, have them join in different orders and have the array show up in different orders. I'm inclined to not sort it for that reason, because I kind of want this to stress they come back in the same order in which they join the chat room. Okay, so maybe that did add up to 10 minutes, which means that you have the gift of foresight. Okay, so I'm going to run my nifty little update tool I made. It was stage, wstage, and then I can simply wserve, and we're back up and running, only we will get a different kind of data structure back, so we need to fix it up. Still only 3 to 4 minutes. Awesome. Right, so it's no longer an object, is it? We can go back to doing our filtering. What was it? This dot state dot users dot map, and then it's user dot nickname. Actually, I think we're making that lowercase from now on, right? And then we want to show the nickname there, and we want to show their points next. User dot. And then user dot points. And then this needs to go. It won't go wrong. We're good. We're all in JavaScript, so that everything will work wonderfully, I'm sure. Okay. Main right is where we put it. Okay, so it's not an unordered list anymore, it's a table. I guess we should put in the... is it going to allow me to do this? What is it? Header? Knock on wood, yep. So this is nickname and then points. Let's see if this will let me do it. Oh, look at that. It's not a pretty table. Ooh. Did I not store the users correctly? I probably didn't. Yeah, I forgot to update that, I'm sure. Yeah, so it's no longer... This is no longer true. Well, this is true. This join is different, though. It is this thing. And then this becomes an array. And then here's where we got to do the filter thing again, right? Let me go back to version control to see what it looked like before I mucked with it. Oh, not get K. I want get GUI. What did it look like before? This.state.nicknames.filter. I don't need this in. Well, hold on. So users dot, it's this dot state dot users. Nicknames dot filter, and it's nickname arrow nickname not equal message dot nickname. We have inconsistent case of that second N, and that's on my list to go fix. But right now, I'm not willing to go divert my attention on that quite yet. Let's see if that fixes stuff. So Bob joins. There we go. This is just not formatted right. What does it look like? Oh, I got some errors. Table header cannot appear as a child table. So how do you do a table with a header? Oh, it's not TD, is it? It's, I'm forgetting my HTML already. There it is. It's like... I can't remember. Let's look it up. I don't need this anymore. Well, let's say React table. I don't see a... Okay, I don't want React dash table. I want just a simple table. A simple HTML table in React. Here we go. Oh, that's right. There's a table, there's a T body and then a T header, right? How do you put the header? Let's see. HTML table. Okay, what's one with the header? Yeah, I don't really like this W3 schools. Grr. Just show me the answer. I'm so impatient. Okay, it's TH. Where is it? I didn't see it. Start of a row. Okay, I don't see the THs though. First the source code, now the rendered table. Now let's improve the table. Okay. That's for headers, right? Oh no, they're doing it step by step. I just want the final answer. Grr. How about cheat sheet? Cheat sheet. Sorry for the noise in the background. Oh, this one looks good. Tables. Ooh, here we go. I want 2 columns and how come I can't specify header? Okay, this sucks. I want a table with a header. Maybe you're just supposed to make a special row with the... If I wasn't so short attention span, I'd probably see that. So how do you... HTML table with header row. I was just hoping I would get a quick answer. Oh, so you got T head and then T body. Thank you for that link. So yeah, it's basically the same as what I just saw. So it's T head. I want T head, and I want TH instead of TD, right? So T head, and then I copy these ones, and the THs become the columns. Right? And then this goes into a T body. Yeah, thanks for that link. I'm going to clear my errors. How do I clear them? Clear them. And then I'll reload to see if I still have any error. I do have errors. What is it not like? Oh, did I'm supposed to make a row for that? Probably. Okay. Block is redundant. Yeah, see this? It's complaining about... if I can show this right. How do I actually show it, though? I have to go to React, I think. I wish I could have it jump to there somewhere, but I don't know how to do that. Instead, I'll just go to that line. See, it doesn't like me having these brackets, but I want those brackets because sometimes I have local variables. I'll just ignore that warning. Close that guy. I want to look at the WebSocket. Okay. Yeah, so it's not updating the points, so we need to do that. But if someone else joins, like Alice, let's open another window. Or just a lurker. If a lurker were to join now, they'll see Bob is at -1 points. So let's fix that. So in the award, here's where we gotta search, or I guess we do a filter, because we need to find the subject of the award and then add a point. Let's see if I can do this right. I think I know what I'm doing. We'll see if I do know what I'm doing. In addition to the tells and next tell, we need to update the users to be this.state.users. Oh, this isn't right. It's not nicknames, it's users. I forgot to update this stuff, didn't I? State.users filter. User. User.nickname, right? Anyway, that was a distraction. The user's here. Dot filter. Actually, how do you? I wanna. Actually, I guess I want to do the spread. What did you call it again? I need to try to memorize this. Spread operator. This.state.users. Because I want to remove one user and then add them back in. Okay, what I'm trying to do is keep all the users except for the one that we need to add a point to. So remove it and then add it back in. I guess what I want to do is I want to get the user. So let or const user equals, I need to select it. So this dot state dot users dot, is it find? Until it finds when the element value. That's what I want. So find user dot nickname equals message dot subject, right? And then, yes, so spread syntax. Let's do this one step at a time. So is that how we... No, that's not how we do it. We're making a new one, right? We can't remove one out. We have to make a new one. It'd be cool if we could, with the spread object, remove one thing out. So we need to remove it out, just like we're doing in leave, like this. Only it's message subject, not nickname. And then we add in user, but with, let's see if I can get this right. I can't figure it out, so I'm going to just cheat and make this a let, and then just say user dot points. Can you do that? JavaScript, and then just say user. Well, let's say this is subject, actually. Let's see if that works. So if that works right, and I connect as Bob, and then wait, I guess I need to wait. Okay, 8 plus 6, that's 73. There we go. So it updated the points. So let's do the same thing for the penalty. Only we subtract a point. Okay, so Bob connect. Oh, that won't be accepted, but if I type a number, it will be, and I lose a point. Oh, I haven't had a chance to fix my mistake. 8, it's 73, or 83. Yay, back up to... If I answer correctly again, it doesn't award me a second time, does it? Okay, cool. All right. I think the last thing we want to do is we want to filter, we want to sort this so that the leader's on top. Ooh, 56. That's 118, right? Yeah, so now, if I open a new window, and we have like Alice join, and let's say I have Alice score a few points, so that'll be 92. Oh, Bob got removed. That's not cool. How did that happen? We somehow... Oh. No? Why did this filter out Bob? I don't get it. Don't you have the spread operator on the filter? Else you can add an array to the array. Oh, is that what's going on? I have to do this. So does the triple dot really go with the bracket and not with the first argument? So is it better to say that? Or is that more correct? I'm assuming this is more correct, so let's try it again. So Bob connects, and then I shouldn't have closed it. Alice connects. Actually, let's disconnect and see what happens here. Ooh, I got a web server crash. Huh. All right. The web server crashed. Mutex destroyed while busy. I don't think I have time to debug that because I only have 10 minutes left of my stream, so let me put that in the list. Notes. Got a... Oh, should not be bold. Got a web server crash when disconnecting a WebSocket in the chat room. Debug next time. Yeah, it happens. I want to see these now though, and not later. Okay. Let's connect back up. Okay, that did it correctly. The leave did the right thing. Well, of course, I'm not using spread syntax there. Map. Okay, so I screwed something up when I disconnected. Is that just a leave? users is not a function. Users map is not a function. So what would that happened when this guy disconnected? What does he do when he disconnects? Yeah, that's an array, right? Bob connect, Alice connect. I guess I don't really need to see this stuff for now, do I? Actually, I can simulate this easily just by having Bob answer it incorrectly. And then maybe have Allison answer incorrectly twice. And a few more times, and then Bob answer incorrectly. Yeah, okay, so it's not sorting at all, it's just putting him always at the end. So the sorting isn't good. So let's do the sorting. Where's a good place to do the sorting? If I was doing this with Redux, I'd have one place where I'd do it, right? I guess I have to do it everywhere where I set the user state. So let's make a function, a helper that does this. Just say function. Yeah, sort on the or I can sort on the render. Oh yeah, you're right. You are correct. How do I do this? Ah, yeah, so let's say like user users let render only gets call and state changes, so it's not a, yeah, okay, cool. I think you're right. So you let users equals, I guess it's const, right? Const, you're not changing it. This dot state dot users dot sort user. How does sort work actually? Okay, it takes two things, A, B. And then I have to look this up. If it was in C++, I would know. It's like -1, +1, 0. Sort. There we go. Is it the same? Okay. Ah. Less than 0, A is lower. Okay, good. So, actually, can I just return... Is there a way to... Is there a comparator for integers? That's what I really want. So, JavaScript integer comparison function. What do they call it? A compare function. Compare function. Oh, just subtract them. Okay. Return A dot points minus B dot points. Oh, I guess I don't need a return. I don't need that either, so it's just that. And then I use just that. Let's try it out. If this works, then I'll probably wrap up the stream, because that'll take me a few minutes. Alice. Okay, let's have Alice answer incorrectly. I think it's sorting reverse order. Yeah, so yeah, we need to reverse that. B minus A. Okay, again, Bob and Alice. Bob's on front, but let's have him go behind a few points. And then Alice answers wrong a few more times. I think this is good. Oh, what is 8 times 3 plus 39? 60. Oh, I'm too slow. 48. All right. Cool. I think this is almost good to go. I just need to fix the web server crash, and then I can make it live, and then we can play around with it some more. 80, right? I should answer as Alice to have Alice catch up. And I have to do some research on CSS and in order to like clean this up a little bit better. But I think it's functional. Except for the disconnect. Disconnect is sometimes crashing the web server. I think it's a race. It's probably a race in how I handle it. There we go. I got it to happen. So I can get it to happen pretty reliably. So we'll debug that next time and then try to make this server go public. Let me check in this work and then we'll call it a day. Okay, this is what? Oh, right. Because of our wonderful viewer not saying, I was convinced to change the users from an object to an array. So that's what we did here. Chat room. Return users as an array rather than an object. And the root, I think because chatter is checked in at the root, that's why we're seeing changes there. Yeah. And oh yeah, I added this is a separate one. So config.json, add new chat room configuration items. Okay, so we got this up to date. Chatter, bring app up to date with the chat room with the latest chat room implementation. Cool. Looking forward to getting this on the internet so you guys can help me break it. Alright. Maybe I can get my math whiz brother in here to compete with everyone. Okay, we're done, I think. So let me recap and then talk about what I'll do next time, and then we'll go host someone. So, yeah, at the beginning of the stream I was saying, last night I got to the bottom of why my computer was crashing. Like in the previous streams, if you might have been watching, the stream would end because my computer would blue screen. It's because my BIOS was out of date, I think. And since I've updated the BIOS, I can't get it to crash, even running stuff that would reliably crash it before. So I'm happy about that. So today we worked on fixing network connection stuff. There was a fix-up in this transport layer we fixed. I also made some scripts that I can run to update my plugins. So when I go here, I type wstage, it automatically copies the latest plugins to the staging area. So I did a bunch of testing of the web server to make sure connections don't become stale and left over and clog up the connection list. And I think that's working. Oh, these three I decided to defer for later. This is basically to make the web server a little bit more nicer when you close it, so that if there are any like uploads or downloads in progress, it lets them complete before shutting down. So I decided to defer that to a later day. I'll handle that later. So I updated the Linux side of things, and then we spent the rest of the stream updating the web app, the React web app client, to match our server in the chat room, and got it up. It's not pretty, but it's up to date with the server, and the contest seems to work. And only one problem I need to debug, I think, before we put this on the internet is to debug this crash that happens sometimes when you disconnect the WebSocket. So yeah, I need to fix that. That's critical because that means the server will go down like pretty frequently if people are connecting and disconnecting frequently. So we'll fix that, and I'll try to get this up on the internet for you guys to play with. If not next time, then maybe the next time after that. So, I hope you had fun watching. Let's go host someone. I need to go find out. Let me first, actually, I have like a little checklist off to the side here to do this right. All right, so let's go host someone. Oh, really? That's interesting. So, Hitch Live, this is a Canadian hitchhiker who is hitchhiking all over America, and he's gone through 48 states, and he's on state 49 now, hitchhiking in Alaska. So, we'll go host him. I think that'll be fun. So, hope to see you next time. I'm going to be switching over to Hitch Live.